You must think I'm strong to give me what I'm going through. Forgive me or if I'm wrong. This looks like more than I can do on my road. And I know I'm not strong enough to be everything that I'm supposed to be. I give up, I'm not strong enough. Hands of mercy, won't you cover me, Lord? Right now I'm asking you to be strong enough for the both of us. Beautiful lyrics. These are sung by one Mathew West as a reminder that despite what you're going through in life, you should never deem yourself beaten, trodden upon, or let alone on your own. He also reminds us that to win the fight of life, you don't have to be strong enough. No, you only need to be strong-willed, full of faith, and to surrender your all to He who works all things at all times through you. Need I remind you that the Almighty is able to do exceedingly abundantly above what you ask or even imagine, according to His power that is at work within you? Don't miss this amazing reminder according to the letter of Saul to the Ephesians in chapter 3 and verse 20. Anyway, the link to this amazing song by Mathew West is pinned in the description box below, with even better vocals in synchrony than what I could ever manage. I listened to them when I felt the weight of the world is weighing heavy upon my fragile shoulders, and I am sure it would pull a number on your heavy, downcast heart as well. I remember from our previous episode of how to have peace within the storm, as always pinned below. I hinted at sharing some of the things that I do while walking through the storm of life. The same helped me not only to retain temporal peace, but also enable me to wait on the Lord as He commanded to be still and to know that He is God. That is, according to Psalms chapter 46 and verse 10. And He says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in all the earth." End of quote. So before I begin hence and maybe find myself caught up in my own ruminations, allow me to welcome you aboard by saying, blessed days and pleasant nights. Welcome. Now, with this topic being a serious one and thus requiring keen attention, do I find myself gaily perusing through the pages of my friend Google. Across these electronic pages, do I find an interesting excerpt on ways to have peace. But before that is an interesting definition of what peace means to others as follows. The Peace Pilgrim simply defines peace as such. Now, peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is rather than as you think it should be. This goes on to augment the simple words a friend once told me. She said, to take people for what they say they are and not what I thought them to be or even what I would want them to be. Simple, right? Now, with this knowledge beforehand, hence, do I go on to agree even more with the Peace Pilgrim as he elaborates by adding that the simplification of life is one of the steps to inner peace, to which a persistent simplification will create an inner and outer well-being that places harmony in one's life. Harmony. This word hits me, and as my little brother once told me, make Google your friend. Someone once said, however, that the internet is bad. It came to spoil all good things. What do I say to this? They weren't in harmony themselves, so they couldn't truly comprehend their world and had to throw shade elsewhere. Looking up the definition of the name harmony at dictionary.com through Google as initially advised by a young master, I find this perfect fit. In life, harmony is an agreement, accord, harmonious relations, a consistent, orderly, or pleasing arrangement of parts. I love how this sums it all up, for it goes on to elaborate that this harmony must be a balance of all parts, and thus, in relation to peace, both the inside and outer parts of us must agree for peace to be totally retained. Allow me to ask you, are you at peace? Is there a balance between your outside and your inner beings? Most of us look for outward fulfillment in order to attain to peace, and herein lays our fault and failure in this tread towards peace. Still, on the same scope of looking for peace from outward fulfillment, I love what the Christ says in the love book of John chapter 16 and verse 33, and as always will I quote, "These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world." This is totally true, even as I must admit that doing this peace alone to completion has been a great strain in itself. I mean, with all things happening around, it could get quite hard finding that so-called peace we so seek. I got inspired to write this piece over about 2 weeks ago, but each time I do a paragraph, everything around seems to disorient me. Could be a phone call that jacks me off or even sets me on edge, a thought that bothers me, or an ongoing occurrence that suddenly grabs my whole attention and with it wipes the floor with the initial motivation I initially had. See, for example, both you and I know that I am a total sold-out pluviophile, but look at this, the rains came for just a few days and immediately after, the sun fought back. If my entire motivation was based on my pluviophility, then I am sure this piece wouldn't be finished by now. This in itself gets me to understand that my true peace cannot come from the world but must be sourced from a deeper perspective. With this depth do I find comfort still from the love scriptures in John chapter 14 and verse 27, and I quote, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." Comforting it truly is, yet still perplexing do I find the closing words of this promise. Tell me, how do I let my heart not to be troubled, and how more do I not fall into the grip of fear when here I am, right in the midst of the storms of life? Tell me, my dear traders, how do I do that? Yet to find out more about how to have peace within the storm, as always, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for more. So until the next time, my dear trader, will you please stay blessed and stay safe. It's your one and only sketcher, PePa, the sketches of life.